check this out. You know the feeling. You heard a song, maybe just a snippet of it, hours ago, and now it's just playing on a non-stop loop in your head. The same 20 seconds over and over and over. It's your own private concert, and you absolutely cannot find the exit.
Right? It feels like your brain's jukebox is stuck on repeat, and you've totally lost the remote. So what's actually going on in our brains? Why do they get hijacked by a piece of music and just refuse to let go? Let's break it down.
Believe it or not, this whole phenomenon is so common, it actually has an official and really descriptive name. Scientists call this getting an earworm.
The term itself comes from the German word Ohrwurm, and it goes all the way back to 1979. Now, the really formal scientific term is involuntary musical imagery, or INMI. But let's be honest, earworm just perfectly captures that feeling of a tune burrowing its way into your mind, doesn't it?
And if you've had one, you are in very, very good company. I mean, studies show that up to 98% of people in Western cultures have had an earworm. It is a nearly universal part of being human. So it's not some glitch in your system, it's a feature.
But why do some songs get stuck and not others? It turns out not all music is created equal. Some songs just seem to follow a specific formula that makes them almost impossible to forget. So this sticky song formula has a few key ingredients. First, you've got a simple, repetitive melody with a faster tempo, like your classic pop song. Then you add a structure that's really easy for our brains to follow, with longer notes and small jumps in pitch. But then there's usually a twist, something unusual, like a unique hook that really grabs our attention. And the final, most powerful ingredient? An emotional connection. If a song is tied to a powerful memory, it has a much better chance of sticking around.
But the song's formula? That's only half the story. The real reason a tune gets stuck has everything to do with the brilliant and sometimes kind of annoying way our brains are wired. This all comes down to a psychological principle called the Zeigarnik effect. See, our brains are hardwired to remember incomplete tasks or unfinished patterns way better than completed ones. So when you only hear part of a song, like that super catchy chorus, your brain sees it as an unresolved loop, and it keeps replaying it over and over, trying to find a resolution and complete the musical thought.
And creating this loop is a full brain operation. Your auditory cortex, which is what processes sound, literally replays the song. But it doesn't work alone. The hippocampus links that tune to your memories, the amygdala charges it up with emotion, and your working memory, which is kind of like your brain's mental scratch pad, is what keeps that whole loop active and repeating.
Now I know what you're thinking. This is all very interesting, but earworms are just annoying, right? Well, what if I told you there might be a very good reason your brain is doing this?
It's a pretty fascinating thought, isn't it? That this little mental nuisance might actually be a sign that your brain is doing its job and doing it really, really well.
So, according to neuroscientists at UC Davis, earworms aren't just some random glitch. They discovered it's an active process our brain uses to strengthen and basically lock in memories of recent experiences.
In their study, they had people watch unfamiliar movie clips that were paired with new music. A week later, the researchers found something absolutely incredible. The more a person experienced that music as an earworm, the more details they remembered from the movie scene it was paired with. So the earworm wasn't just helping them remember the song, it was cementing the memories of the entire event.
Okay, so earworms can be a memory superpower. Got it. But let's be real, sometimes you just want them to stop. The good news is, science has some pretty clear strategies for turning off that mental jukebox when you finally had enough. To finally hit stop, you have two main options. You can either lean into the earworm and give your brain what it's craving, or you can pivot and distract it with a totally different task. And you know what? Both can be surprisingly effective.
This first strategy is all about giving your brain that sense of closure it wants. Remember that Zeigarnik effect we talked about? By listening to the song all the way through, reading the lyrics, or even singing it out loud yourself, you're giving it the ending your brain was looking for. This completes the loop and often allows your brain to finally let it go.
Now, if engaging doesn't work, it's time to pivot to distraction. The trick is to pick an activity that uses the same parts of the brain. Chewing gum, for instance, occupies your vocal muscles and can actually disrupt the inner singing. Solving a word puzzle will engage your working memory. Or you can fight fire with fire and listen to a different song, a cure tune, to replace the old one. Just maybe don't pick another smash hit pop song, okay?
So, the next time a catchy tune takes over your mind, instead of just getting frustrated, you can see it for what it really is,
A fascinating little glimpse into your brain's powerful memory-building machine at work. It might be annoying, for sure, but it's also a sign that your brain is doing its job, connecting your world to a soundtrack, one song at a time. Now you know.